sources of generation are set to cover all the world's additional electricity demand over the next 3 years. Global electricity demand is set to surge over the next 3 years with all new needs fueled by clean energy giants like renewables and nuclear power. Emerging economies like China and India are leading the charge, pushing fossil fuels below 60% of global generation for the first time in over half a century. This green revolution means renewables dethroning coal by early 2025, while nuclear power reaches record high globally by 2025. As a result, emissions from the power sector are on a downward spiral. However, the picture isn't uniformly bright. While Europe grapples with continued weak demand, other developing economies enjoy robust growth. Sadly, Africa stands apart with electricity use per capita stagnating for over 30 years. This highlights the vital need for accelerated electrification in Africa, both for its development and to meet crucial climate goals. International collaboration is key to unlocking this brighter, sustainable future.
Worst climate disasters of 2023 and global hunger. 2023 saw escalating climate woes, fueling extreme weather and hunger crisis. July was the hottest month. Sea temperatures soared and Earth briefly passed 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, a potential tipping point. Disasters like floods in Zambia, cyclone in Mozambique and Myanmar, and Hurricane Otis in Mexico devastated communities, driving up hunger. Zambia's flood affected 25,000 households, Mozambique's cyclone Freddy displaced 123,000, and Hurricane Otis destroyed 50,000 homes. These events disrupt food production, displace families, and degrade land, pushing vulnerable population deeper into hunger. The World Food Programme provided emergency assistance and is working towards long-term recovery solution. The climate crisis demands urgent action to mitigate disasters and build resilience, especially for vulnerable communities, to break the cycle of extreme weather and hunger.
BlackRock, aiming to expand its renewable energy holdings, invested $500 million in the Canadian Solar's Recurrent Energy Unit for a stake of 20%. This cash boost fuels Recurrent's growth as it moves from pure development to ownership in key markets like the United States and Europe. Notably, it's BlackRock's first deal from its $7 billion climate infrastructure fund, signaling its ambition in the alternative assets. Canadian Solar, with a massive project pipeline, retains majority control and saw its share jump 15% on the news. The deal excludes some Asian and Latin American projects. While BlackRock targets broader alternative asset, this move strengthens its renewable energy portfolio, aligning with the sector's rapid growth.
In 2023, a record number of Australian wildlife, including 144 animals, plants, and ecological communities, were added to the national list of threatened species, according to the Australian Conservation Foundation. This figure is 5 times more than the yearly average and double the previous record set in 2009. The newly listed species include the pink cockatoo, northern blue-tongued skink, and Jardine River turtle. The surge in listing is attributed to the government's efforts to address a backlog of species assessments exacerbated by the 2019-20 bushfires. However, the conservationists express concern that habitat destruction, with 10,426 hectares approved in the last 12 months alone, remains a significant threat. They emphasize the need for forthcoming reforms to address unregulated land clearing, which poses a danger to native wildlife and ecosystems. Environment Minister Tanya Pittsburgh has made listing decisions on 223 threatened species since the Albanese government took office, with a focus on those impacted by bushfires. Draft legislation for environmental law reforms is expected this year.